There was a time in my life when I didn't understand that people could buy land like this. It just wasn't part of the world that I grew up in. I grew up in Baltimore City on welfare. I was, by all accounts, a city kid. And then when I was 17, I moved to Colorado. And at 18, I bought a rifle and I bought an elk tag. And it changed the trajectory of my life. Something shifted. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was walking to the life I was meant to live in. A few years later, I lived in a one-bedroom apartment just north of Denver. And I remember one day distinctly, I was standing at the sliding glass door looking out onto the enormous parking lot full of cars and another apartment building beyond that and their parking lot and their cars. And I remember thinking, one day, I'm going to be able to hunt from my back porch. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I certainly didn't know how much it was going to cost, but I never, ever gave up on the idea. So after that, life wasn't straight, and it wasn't easy, and I certainly made some mistakes along the way, and there are things I regret. But I never gave up on the dream of this. I didn't know where I was headed exactly, but I kept working, and I kept pushing, and I kept building towards the life that I ultimately wanted to have. And I'm certainly not a man who made it, but I am definitely a man who never gave up. The first time I drove down this driveway, I knew. I didn't say it out loud, but I knew. This was the place I've been searching for my whole life. It felt familiar. It felt right. And in that moment, I understood something very clearly. No matter what it took, I was going to make this happen. It wasn't simple, and it wasn't clean, and it certainly didn't happen overnight. This farm, this land, this life was a result of that moment and everything before it. It wasn't luck, and it wasn't timing. It was years of refusing to give up on something I couldn't even fully see at the time. If that 20-year-old kid could see this today, he would be incredibly, incredibly grateful. I never gave up, and I never stopped.